lets the game kind of form to what the community really wants, and then you end up, I think, will have a more community driven and not hype driven game. And then when it does then eventually go into launch, you'll still pick up that hype, but you'll have a good idea of what the health of the game is before that, once the hype dips down, because you're like, oh yeah, people who really love it, people, you know, and then do people come in and dip out. And being that it's a sandbox MMO, like that's going to be like, I like those kind of styles, but those are also the niche, you know, MMO now, as they used to be the main, but things have changed. And you know, people say I love MMO. Somebody literally was like, PAX Day, that's not an MMO, because they have no concept of what a sandbox MMO is.
Yeah,
well,
technically is.
It's more, I would say it's more MMO than a theme park, but that's just because I grew up on Sandbox.
I mean, I grew up in late Burning Crusade, early Wrath of the Lich King, WoW, where the Sandbox was still really a thing. You still had, I mean, I think it was late Wrath of the Lich King, mid. It was either late Wrath of the Lich King or Cataclysm, where they introduced a dungeon finder. So basically, you know, all the raids, all the dungeons had to be people on the server. You had to spam and chat, trade chat, you know, LFG or LFM, you know, looking for group or looking for more, you know, 1 tank, 2 DPS, whatever, you know, and took time.
Well, it took time. That's how you had the social component. Now, if you're not like, hey, let's matchmake,
or you had a friend run you through stuff, like I did on my early days.
But people long for that from more kind of, I think, a nostalgia, you know, kind of a model, as opposed to like, oh yeah, this is exactly what I want.
Yeah, there was some benefits to it, I can say, but there's also like the dungeon finder is a double-edged sword.
It's a double-edged sword.
Quality of life.
It is so convenient that it's just like, all right.
It's because even dead servers can still get dungeons, right? But at the same time, it removes a key social aspect of the game. So it's like, you know, do you I don't know, not implement one and smaller servers suffer, or do you implement one but severely denigrate your or deteriorate your social aspect? It's you didn't have world chat, just zone chat and FF11 at launch for US, and like a city shout if you were in cities. I mean, but it was also just a different era back then, right? I mean, nowadays,
like we have so many other ways.
Nowadays, the market is so saturated.
We have Discord. Like, I think MMOs should integrate with Discord, so that you're like, oh, when I'm not actually in the MMO, you could still, like, if you were like, because like, if for those of you who are part of the Discord, like, it'd be really cool if I was like playing PAX Day and I was like, oh, I wasn't hanging out in Discord, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, let me send Brian a message, and it showed up in my game, like, oh, hey, yeah, that's right, let me hop into voice chat, or like, oh, and then I can message you back, so that it takes it away from the individual game and brings it more into the tools that we have in modern gaming. So I would love to see Discord integration into the MMO communication space. You know, like, imagine if you're like, here's a party, let's spin up a little Discord voice chat, you know, like that you can jump in as a guest if you want.
Well, back then it was Ventrilo or TeamSpeak, or
we used Ventrilo, Ventrilo, TeamSpeak, and I don't know the third one.
I used Ventrilo, and that was interesting.
What's up, Mox? Blue, what's up? Dude, I hope that by August that we see some big updates. Ooh.
Even those were new in 2003? Yeah, that's fair. Roger Wilco came with GameSpy back in the day. Roger Wilco sounds familiar. GameSpy, that's old stuff. But honestly, I kind of like the one thing I don't like is just all the theme park stuff. Hey guys, they still not dropping the beef? Not yet. Brian thinks it'll be
Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday. Thank you. Not really voice chatting on 14.4. Not really sure what that means.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Oh, stop.
14.4. Live, Brian. Look above.
What?
Is that comment? Those were new in 2003, I guess. 14. Oh, it's 14.4K F9R dial-up. Okay, I didn't know that one. I mean,
Oh, come on.
I mean, I had.
No.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
You can't go by me because I had fiber. I've had fiber for like 20 years. So it took 30 minutes to load a photo. I remember those days. I remember those days.
I thought I touched.
Sometimes the photo wouldn't even load completely, or it would load but not full resolution. So it was like all pixelated. I remember those days. Being a thirsty young lad back in the early days of the internet. Or someone calls and it kicks you off. Yeah, that's true. But looks like we have an interview with Christina Giagos tomorrow. Madrigal Celine on
Cool,
Behind
man.
the Voice YouTube channel.
Oh, congrats.
Okay, cool. I mean, I don't get excited about voice actors
It's just
like most people